And Alessandro, thank you for coming here and joining us here in studio.
Thank you to invite me.
I met Alessandro, crazy enough, actually at his restaurant. He came over to our table, started talking. It was the town Sonoy where we did a lot of the taping and stuff previously at Pearl and Pine. And his restaurant's a couple down. We'll get into other things that he does, but he owns a restaurant along with his sister there. And at that time frame, we were having a good, festivity that was going on, and good wine and the whole bed. And he stopped by our table and talked with us. And one of the things he said to my wife and I, we were going back to Italy again next year, was, "Hey, come by, during lunch at some point, and we'll have a conversation." So I found him on, went to the page of the restaurant, found where you were tagged, and went to your personal page and reached out and said thank you. And then started thinking, Kyle and I started talking, when I saw your photo of being a veteran, it was like, wait, hey, this would be like really cool. Yeah. We've had Australian military, we've had British and Welsh and all that, but we've never had anybody from Italy. So really stoked to talk about that aspect of it.
I'm honored.
Man, we love to have you. What is it about where we live that has like all this veteran presence? I don't know, and it's like all over the world. We got Rangers, we got SF, we got regular guys like me and you.
Pretty lucky.
And it's awesome, man.
Then you go to politics. While you have a bunch of veterans in Georgia, you go to politics. I don't know if you're going to go there. But
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
So you're originally from Rome.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and grew up there your whole life, born and raised. And I think we were talking offline. You had 7 generations.
Seven generations of people born and raised in Rome.
Wow. And so growing up there, I know you didn't join the military until much later. So what happened in between? What after you guys have like a high school?
So I went to that school, I went to the college, and then I was very good at basketball. I actually play almost in a major league in Italy for basketball. And when I was playing basketball, love basketball, man. Love basketball. And one time I saw on television, this scene of these black people wearing black and go inside an embassy and rescue a bunch of them and save the day. And I'm just looking at my basketball ball. I said, what the fuck am I doing here? It's a freaking game. Then I joined the army.
Yeah.
I left a well-paid basketball career to join the army like a sergeant major. And then I went to the academy and then became an officer. And then I say, I need to go to Special Forces. And I went to the Special Forces.
What caused you to want to go there? What was it?
If you had to do something, you had to do the best.
Yeah. So like your Special Forces, the particular unit that you belong to, which is at the 9th Assault
Regiment Col Moschin.
Yeah. So Col Moschin has a long history dating back to like World War I.
Correct.
World War II, and that particular unit, from everything that I read, is considered Tier 1.
Yes.
So Tier 1 to us is like SEAL Team 6, Delta Force, those
Let's
types
talk about Delta. Navy SEALs.
What's that?
Yeah, Delta Force, yeah.
Yeah. What was it you said?
Just
I missed
a little
it.
shade.
Let's talk about Delta Force.
I think Delta might catch a stray with Alessandro right now.
Delta I admire them. I work with them. I think that I'm one of the few people in the army to have to receive a medal for Delta.
Yeah.
For an operation that we did. The other people are a bunch of commercial.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so never mind. The SEALs caught a stray there.
One of the good friend of mine is an ex-Navy SEALs here. They're wonderful and amazing people. It's a joke that I make with them.
Yeah. Well, it's an American, veteran. We also see a lot of people that if you put SEAL, there's no doubt about it. And this is no, pick on any SEAL or anything like that. But if you have SEAL in your bio anywhere, on your Instagram account, Facebook, social media, you're going to blow up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good marketing the Navy did actually. Yeah. Kudos to them. But American Special Forces, Delta Forces, Green Berets, they're all very, very, very high trained. And especially, there's another unit about Delta Force, but that's probably another situation to talk about. And they're very trained. They're very high skilled. They are not just fancy as the Navy SEALs. And don't get me wrong, I love the Navy SEALs look, like sunglasses at beach tan. I love that.
It's interesting hearing him say
it was not prompted. I just wanted
I
everyone
love
to
how
know.
Italians can like somehow make like an insult so romantic.
Yeah.
Well, we are a place that we always make fun of ourselves.
Yes.
It's as an Italian, because Italy went to a lot of shit, and I mean, it was conquered by everybody. Think about this, everybody. So the way we save the day, just laugh.
Yeah.
Yes, trying to laugh, trying to make things less heavy, and sometimes you maybe disrespect somebody in the process. But at the end of the day, for example, another things I found out here is very different. In Italy, I can have a huge argument with you, bad with nasty word, and 2 minutes later, a pizza to be together. Mm-hmm. Here, if you talk to somebody and in a not properly manner, it looks like you killed somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's we have different approach. In Italy, we just hug each other, we kiss each other between men, but we are men, but we show affection. Here, people are, I don't know, it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, like, there's actually stories or memes or whatever, reels out there about how Italians, when they're talk aggressive, and people can confuse that at times because they think that they're actually angry at one another. No, they're just having a conversation.
But weather.
So what type of like selection do you guys go through? Tell whatever you can get into.
I think it's a public. You just go basically on 3 years of training. You start with the selection, basic selection, and depends where you come from, the academy, the pool they're taking you from. Then you go to the regiment. You do the first 10 days of training. High training is probably what the Navy SEALs call a bad week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hell week.
Yeah. The 10 days. And then after that, you start the selection. There's 2 phases. The first one is 1.5 years, and the second one is under 1.5 years. So it's 3 years of training before you are able to join the rank of the Special Force.
Wow.
It sounds a lot like Q Corps, set up kind of like Q Corps says.
Yeah.
You do basically for HAHO, close quarter combat, and a bunch of other courses that you do in 3 years. That's why I'm again, of course, I'm gonna wear my flag of my regiment. We are more trained than the majority of the special forces in the world because we are not a lot. We are really not a lot. I think, I don't know if I can say that, but I'll say anyway. My wings, my wings when I graduated was number 1,025.
Wow.
Till 1946.
That's crazy.
Think about the number.
Yeah.
1,024 people before me till 1946 gain access to what I did.
Do you guys put the number or anything on the back of it, or
we have personal things like on the knife they gave it to me when I retired. So
I'll share a cool photo of yours that you have that's got the beret and the knife and everything. It's pretty awesome.
That's my regiment and my company. Yes.
Okay.
And my unit. I was a captain when I retired there.
So the Air Force has the PJ Pararescuemen program that's very similar in terms of like that lifespan of getting to wear the beret and actually be called
pipeline.
The pipeline,
yeah.
Right. It's so extensive.
Yeah.
And a Q course, I mean, it could be, a year and a half, I think, in total. And then, of course, you have selection for that's prior to that. Part of that, you have language school and all those types of things. But they don't start getting into HAHO
until you get to your unit.
Until you get to the unit.
No.
Whereas like pararescuemen, I think their pipeline is set to figure it out.
A little bit longer, yeah.
Right. And are you going to actually be capable of going through scuba and
it's
rescue?
a hard 2 years.
Yeah. Very, very, very different.
Well, there's 1,025 of them. You know what I mean? They better make sure that they spend the most money they can, train him as best as they can.
Yeah.
So did you have specialties?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You raise during your training. You train different sniper, AOD, whatever, and then if you are an officer, most likely you're gonna know an average of everything, but you have your team or snipers on AOD below you. Usually sergeant major are more specified on the task they do have because they can do longer.
Yeah.
Because once you become captain, after that you move out from, you go to non-administrative work, you go on a different kind of work.
Behind a desk or administrative.
Well, beyond it's even on the field,
planning,
it's different kind of work. They can cover intelligence or everything. So, in sergeant major, they stay in the regiment for a long time, so they're more rewarded to invest in sergeant major and corporal. They're gonna stay in the regiment for 10, 20 years. Then invest too much on a captain, on a lieutenant is gonna take 5 years in the regiment.
Yeah, very similar to the American Special Forces in the sense of...
That's the Special Forces pretty much in our side of the world, means Canada, Europe, Australia, and America. We are pretty much standardized how the structure, how the training, all blah, blah, blah. So pretty much, it's the same path.
When you say that, do you mean like NATO? Like a
Yes,
standardized?
yes.
Like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you think about like a lot of the enlisted, they get all the way until, say E8, E9, and a lot of them end up going warrant officer because they want to still remain in the fight. As an officer, in special forces, you may go to the unit, you may stay there 3 years, 5 years, or whatever. And like you said, then you're going to go back out somewhere else in the conventional army, and you may get a chance to come back. You may never come back.
But
Yeah, so it's very, very similar. So I even know of guys that gave up their commission because they didn't want to leave the teams.
I understand that. I understand, man.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, one of my mentor in America was a Navy SEALs. Because when I came here, I started working in the movie business as a military advisor, right? And the guy that found me was an ex-Navy SEALs. And I owe him Duffy. I know him, the fact that actually I'm working in the movie business. He's found me, there are 400 people audition, and these guys ask, somebody can do this exercise? And I raised my hand, and I went, I did it, I did 5 steps, and the guys came to me, what's your background? Special Forces. Oh, no. Which unit? 9th Regiment. And another guy came in and said, Wade, who was assistant stunt coordinator, said, do you know Marco? I said, what the fuck? So short story.
It's a small community.
Wade, the assistant stunt coordinator, went to Israel to train to one of my friend Marco, and they become friends. So the guy called Marco on the spot to check if it was real.
Sure.
Because you know many people.
Yeah.
And give me Marco on the phone and say, hey Alex, what are you doing? Marco, I mean, it's a long story, man. But I'm here in Atlanta trying to break in the movie business. And I was talking about my mentor, Duffy. I was impressed how he cared about the Navy SEALs. It's really, I think right now, even he's retired, he's gonna ask him to die for somebody in the Navy. They maybe didn't know these guys. He will do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the bond that the Navy SEALs has it, and the Delta Force too has it. It's something that's what people should learn. And I know that we are trying to give the idea Special Forces a bunch of cool-looking guys, right? One of the motto of Special Forces is, if you don't know what's going on, just put the sunglasses and smile. Be cool, right? But that's cool. But the things that people should actually learn, it's how far it will go to bring you back home.
Yeah.
And that's why people have no idea of what we really... If you think that we are scared, if you think that our unit, Special Forces, are scared people, well, test them when they really need to go 100% to bring somebody home. Then you realize what means violence.
Yeah.
So I'm not we go to the violence things. I'm not going to push violence of any kind. But sometimes to achieve what you need to achieve, you need strength. And it's not like a snowflake stalk when the bullets are flying. Because the bullet flying, you don't have the feeling of, on a movie, bang, bang, bang. No, you're going to start to feel, and say, oh, somebody's shooting at us. And that the day, it's game time. It's really, there's no time to, you need to go and be sure, and you know that you're going to go, and the people behind you are your brothers, and going to do whatever they can do to protect you. And that's a bond that are giving still chills, that this what people need to learn, not just be cool.
So how much did you guys end up training with other NATO forces?
It's every day, every month.
Really? Okay.
Yes. We have a joint training from every special forces in NATO.
Did you notice any big differences within cultures?
No. That's something that's crazy. The more you go up, the more the technique are the same. Mm-hmm. They're more level up, because at the end of the day, that's how you do it. I mean, you can come up with a bunch of variation. That's how you do it. And of course, the technique, the training change because you have more tools available, right? Like thermal scan or night vision goggles, whatever you have. But at the end of the day, what's important in the all special force unit, that you need to be able to fight with nothing. Mm-hmm. If a GPS doesn't work, you need to be able to read the map. Now ask to anybody around how many north we have. How many north we have?
We have 3.
So you know how many people will know that?
Not many.
Or the difference? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, again, I'm fascinated the Special Forces Award just because the unit, they are trying to take the best they can to the people that they have below without forget that we're all humans.
Did you get the tattoo while in?
This one, yes.
So somebody told me that you can't go into the service with tattoo in the Italian army.
I think it was 20 years ago.
Oh, is that right?
And then they cancel it. Of course, you can't have the tattoo in your face because if people recognize you are there.
Sure.
I think, I don't know the implementation right now. I think they're on the way more open. But one thing that they always taught me, if you want a tattoo, just don't put a tattoo that anybody can recognize you where you come from.
Yeah.
Because if you've been caught and you have a tattoo like this is my animal spirit bear, it's different if I'm a special force logo on my skin. Where are you from? I'm a pilot. Well, you're not. You know what I mean? So it's when the people tattoo themselves with the number of the unit, for sure you can't do in the service.
Right.
When you're retired or whatever.
Right. You guys tend to, at least every photo that I've seen has the mask that's over the face. Now, in when they're showing the soldiers and everything, special forces of your unit, in America, they tend to like make sure that they're taking the back of the soldier, or they blur the face or whatever, especially if you're going to be deployed. I guess, is that another way of you guys covering the
identity?
Well, think about this. I give you this real story. Come back from Afghanistan. 3 or 4 months later, we were in Pisa. And I think we were going to hyperbaric chamber training. I don't remember. Or some sort of with a parachuting training. And we stopped at the traffic light. And a guy came to clean the windows. And I look at this guy. This guy's looking at me and says, I was in a uniform. You're not a soldier. What? And I remember you in blah blah blah. Oh yeah, I remember you. You're cleaning the room. You're cleaning the bathroom on our unit. Oh yeah, I came here with my family. Okay, that's cool. And I realized, shit.
Yeah.
That's a cool guy. That's a cool guy. That I'm glad that he came in Italy and left with the part of the world I found him. But that's how easy to sometimes to be recognized. So people in the sort of unit, they need to be anonymous. They need to. Yeah. It's not it's fancy or to being black, but really beside the fanciness is that people can recognize you.
It's your livelihood on the stake.
And your family.
Yeah.
Kids, dogs, kids, dogs, wife.
Well, I mean,
I don't have kids.
a lot of them don't have that are serving on active duty, you know, especially tier 1, don't have any type of presence on social media.
No, you
It's
can't.
to their and their families benefit that they don't do that.
Yeah.
Especially with the change of the borders and everything else that we have. It doesn't mean that. I mean, nowadays,
Oh man, you don't even know, man.
you never. Yeah, I mean,
An iPhone can scan everybody's face. An iPhone. Now, what you see in a movie that people can recognize people in traffic, I mean, that's actually true. I mean, it's really, it's so easy to be spotted. I mean, I put his face on Facebook. The chances Facebook is, oh, that's him.
yeah,
Facebook.
Yeah.
The one of the most accessed platform in the planet. Think about real people, what they have to find people.
yeah. Think about going to like the London where they have all the cameras everywhere. That's
Everywhere.
constantly. So they to your point. They not only know that you entered into their country, they know exactly where you are at every single moment. And it's becoming that way a lot more here in
You
America.
walk
Yeah.
up at the Atlanta airport and you haven't shown them anything, and they say, "Hey, Mr. Neal, how are you today?" And there's only one way they can
Let
do
me
that.
tell you one good side of this and one the bad side of this. The good side of this, when I became an American citizen in 2000, January 26 this year. So like 6 months ago. I became a citizen.
Congratulations.
After 13 years,
Yeah. Wow.
legally.
Yeah. And you probably know more about the U.S. Constitution and everything else than most Americans do.
But that's some other things. When I went to the ceremony, there's an officer. And the officers, there were 15 people. It was not just me. 15 people stand up, came to me, and says, "Thank you for your service. We know everything you did. Thank you for your service." And my man says, "How the fuck you know?" Right?
Yeah.
Homeland Security. But it's good.
Yeah.
Because I had nothing to hide. So that's a good side. The bad side is people that government spies on everybody. I mean, do you know how much cost a day to spy on you?
Yeah.
So if you're not really somebody important, nobody fucking care what you are.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking care. Oh, they're gonna spy my computer. Let me stop the webcam. Let me turn the phone. Come on, man. Who are you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm working on Kroger. Oh sure. Don't get me wrong.
No, but you're
what kind of
speaking
secrets you can have that Hiram wants to get from you?
He's hitting on my tinfoil hat. So everybody picks on me because I wear a tinfoil hat all the time. I get nervous about those types of things. And to your point, maybe it shouldn't matter. That's what my family always tell me. Like, what the hell, Dad?
But have you seen the Plod app?
The what?
The Plod app. It's an AI listening device that goes on your phone, and you click the app, and we have it at our work to collect meeting minutes, so no one has to type the meeting minutes. But you can also leave it on in your pocket in a crowd, and it'll collect anything that's within earshot of that phone.
PLOT.
Yeah.
But that phone's
No,
already doing it.
PLAUD. Yeah, but it's just externalizing it.
Yeah.
And it's giving it an external receiver to help bring that in. Because there's a little business card size thing that clips on the phone.
I mean, there's been plenty of shows and everything talking about how your phone listens to you, and unless you can remove the battery, which you can't in most, iPhone.
Well, even if you remove the battery in an iPhone, it's still not dead.
yeah, even if
There's
you turn-
nobody. Yes, it's
Yeah, it's still
yeah,
discoverable.
even if it's turned off, it doesn't matter. It's still listening, and so you're right. I mean, I think that sure, there's numbers of data.
more relaxed. Guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Live your life. No government's gonna spy how much time you spend on website.
Yeah.
It's really unless you are a terrorist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with all the training that you have done in your history and stuff, I can certainly see a concern for what you have done. That could be like, if anybody would have to be nervous, it would be someone like yourself.
Correct. And I'm not because I'm. If I was living not in America, or another country in the world, the people can blah 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 don't like NATO or Americans or whatever. Yes, but here, man, I don't have to worry about anything, man.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, right now we have police, we have a National Guard, we have army. Nobody's gonna fuck with us, man.
Yeah.
Really, if they try, it's gonna end up.
Well, you got normal citizens that have weapons as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, the Japanese general, after Pearl Harbor, said these things. We wake up a sleeping giant. right? And another general says, well, we're gonna go invade the United States. And the guy says, we're gonna find the weapons in every grass blade.
How do you feel about that as an Italian coming from a country where civilians couldn't have firearms, being now in a country where everybody has them?
So, that's a tricky question, right? Because my background, you will think that anybody should have a weapon, right? My background, I'm telling you that if you need to have a driver license test to drive in a freaking car, you should have some sort of a knowledge to actually all the weapons, right? You need to get a married license to get married, but you can buy a machine gun with no checked up. And I'm not saying that I'm pro Second Amendment. I think anybody should be able to wear a bare arm to defend the right. I'm totally great with that. On the other side, there has to be a way to be sure that if he's gonna bring a gun in his house and he has his own brother, it's a mental ill, he doesn't have access to that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
But when the people says, oh, in America there's a bunch of mass shooting, do you know how many domestic violence are in Italy?
A ton.
So the point is, and actually back in the day, I remember there was a special task force unit from FBI came in Italy to study Italian domestic violence. As an exchange, was a crime scenes unit from Italy going here and study serial killer. There are way more serial killer in America than in Italy, but there were way more domestic violence in Italy than America.
So you're saying like maybe each culture has this different flavor of whatever its violence is going to be.
Of course. Humans are humans. They just change flavors, depends where you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, we need to give the capability to the citizens to protect themselves, but we need to protect other citizens from the damage, the people that are unstable to how to do that.
Yeah.
And of course, you can drive a car and go drunk and kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that you can do against, right?
Yep.
And when it says we need to have a gun law because you think criminals will abide the gun law,
Yeah.
criminals still have guns. So you can't take the citizen right to have guns away when you know that the bad people will still buy guns. What you need to do, we need to find a way to don't be so much into people's life to see, oh, you can have gun, you can have another gun, but we need to find a way.
I think anytime anyone deliberate like shows like they are irresponsible with the gun, I think the repercussion should be more severe than what it is.
Correct.
And if there's some type of like we do driver's ed training for 15-year-olds, why can't we do gun training for 15-year-olds?
Exactly. And then now we have to buy a gun, we have a background check. The background check is it's a FBI felony background check. What if to have a gun, you need to go to your local police station and have a simple 5 minutes conversation, 10 minutes conversation and test? Because what's going to happen? The FBI headquarters in Virginia doesn't know shit if you have a wife that's crazy. Mm-hmm. As a police officer in a small country, a small city, maybe I have more knowledge of your background. I know that I went to your house 7 times because people complain you're shooting in the background, right? So there's way more control. I'm against government control too much.
But there's responsible measures that people could take, even at the maybe not even the civic level, just at the public level.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's great insight because Italians are a lot more tribal. They still have that tribal way about them and still keep into like the kingdoms of now and the provinces. So I think that insight's really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I think that
because when you said I'm from Roma, like you said it with pride.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, again, 7th generation from Roma. In Roma, in 2,000 years ago, they already have air conditioning and span and thermarium when people are just living in a canopy.
Yeah.
The rest of the world. I mean,
Is there like when you were serving in the Italian military, especially in special forces, was there a sense of like drawing upon the generations of the Roman Empire and those warriors?
Look, in Italy, we fight against city. I mean, you have the guy from Livorno. I don't know if you've been in Livorno. Mm-hmm. That's where my air regiment was stationed. The closest town is Pisa,
which is down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if find a Livorno guy and a Pisa guy eat lunch together is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like city-state like
my
rivalries?
Yeah.
Like
In Italy, you really it's look, the football game is a freaking war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go to the Udine games, and when I went, I didn't realize at first I was trying to figure out what was like this divider, but then I realized it was a gauntlet.
Yeah.
That it was like a trench, so people could not rush the field.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The moat.
that is
Yeah, it was a
awesome.
moat. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, gauntlet.
We have a different. That's why everybody loves Italian, because we are more passionate.
Yeah.
But that comes with the fact that we are freaking more passionate, so we flip out very fast.
Well, I think we get it, like especially from a sports side, like the southeast of the United States, like we love
Like
our
Philadelphia.
Well,
American.
having lived here now for 13
Yeah,
years.
you
know what he's
kind of
talking about.
understand college
You
football
got
at
the
this point. Like,
rivalries.
yeah,
You got the rivalries of different colleges down here. You know, I mean, people get real passionate. When you're born, you have to select which university you're going to support. Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, whatever,
Yeah,
Tennessee.
but it's still done in a polite way, guys. Unfortunately, in Italy, it's getting better. It's still sometimes too extreme.
yeah.
People, because in Italian people right now are struggling.
Yeah.
Because even like I mentioned before, even if Italy is probably number one for food, number one for food, for wine, for cars, motorbike, fashion, clothing, manufacturing, art, history, philosophy. Think about this. Italy is number one on everything. And people now are fighting to put bread on the table. Because they are crushed by a 72% of taxation due to a socialist government. Guy, I mean, I say I will not go into politics, but I mean, I'm stating the truth.
No, yeah.
I'm stating the truth.
Passionate about it.
No, that makes perfect sense. And so when Americans sitting here and they're talking about taxation or they're talking about socialized health care and all those types of things, you've lived in that environment and you've had 72% taxation as well. And people think we're already taxed here. I feel like we are. Like we were talking about off air, we get taxed on everything, And,
Yeah, but your taxes here, you can see at work. You can see the building street. You can see the feed the police officer or the AMT. You can see the taxes work. Unfortunately, what is struggle in Italy, how they use my taxes money.
Then where does the money show up?
I mean, it's really why Italy is number one in the world for concrete, for street production wise. Number one in the world, Italy. And in Italy, if you go on the street, there's holes everywhere.
Or you're launching your vehicle like into a hill.
I mean, it's really what it is. So it's and again, don't let me start on politics.
well, let's get back to some of the training that you went to then, because I think guys are going to be, or people listening are going to be really interested in the pipeline. So you talked about like HALO and HAHO and everything. Did you end up doing any of that training here in America, or was it?
Personally, me, I didn't.
Okay.
I went to Spain. I went to other places. Personally, me, I didn't. But we have a bunch of people that do, especially for snipers, combat medic, another position. Yeah.
Okay. So like on the, when it came down to it, what did you prefer, HALO or HAHO? It may be I don't know if there's a preference question, but.
Tactical wise, they are meant to two totally different way. There is one reason why I do HALO, one reason we do HAHO. It's totally different. Experience wise, I mean, do HAHO, so high altitude jump, high opening. It's an experience, man. Because you open your canopy at 30,000 feet and you see that curve of the earth. Yeah, it's not flat. Curve of the earth, and you just navigate with your team on top of everything. It's a sensation. It's beautiful, man. Still remember in Spain was high altitude opening, and there was a huge, I don't know how many meters, a column of cloud coming our way. Probably kilometers.
Yeah.
600 feet, I don't know.
A storm?
A storm
Yeah.
coming our way. And we trying to avoid the storm. And I remember somebody on my radio says, guys, you feel the stars? Stars? Well, there was no stars. There was the little particles of water drops in the cloud that they are shining because of the sun. And that means that they're coming. And guess not 2 minutes later, everybody was the freaking cloud.
Holy cow.
And the sensation, there's nothing. That's the one sensation that I found that there's nothing you can do. You need to really leave the canopy open, in full open, touch yourself, and wait. Because you're going to end up in this position, the canopy is down, your GPS is going to go, and you just wait. And then I went inside the cloud, 4,000 meters, came out at 6,000. So it actually bring me up.
Wow.
Because of the airflow that's coming out.
They bring me up.
You were literally being evaporated. You know what I mean? Like that's rising of the moisture.
All the team cascader, and I end up to come out of the cloud on top of a town in Spain. It was Italian, Spain people are like Italian people. So I'm trying to land in this freaking street, because it's the only way, there's a street, I just land on the street, a car stop, front of me, get away, I get in front of the shop, are you okay, man? Yeah, let me make some phone call. And then went back and just keep doing bread.
Oh, my God.
And an old lady came to me from Spain, came to me with a piece of bread and a water in some sort of Spanish language. I didn't understand Spanish. She said, even time you're waiting, at least you eat.
Wow. That's very cool.
Yeah, so with that said, how it's probably more rewarding because you travel a lot. If you want to have adrenaline spikes, that HAHO, it's you come up at 32,000 feet and you like a freaking bullet. And you open the parachute. If the parachute is not open in a way that actually help you to open less fast, because the parachute is meant to open boom. So what we do in the special forces, so we're trying to actually pack the chute in a way that open like, to have less bam. Yeah. Because man, if you open a parachute in a way that's set up on a HAHO jump, your soul is gonna go back. Your soul is gonna go in your body. It's really
Yeah, and if you got those straps too tight,
man. And remember, my first emergency. I was in Spain actually. I jump. It was a HAHO jump, and I opened the parachute. Nothing happened. So I went back and see these little fucking black things, and then I went back and see the ground, and you used to see the ground at one speed. When you pass the speed, you still see the ground doing this way. Man, I'm not saying you panic, but you're bottled.
Did you have to pull your reserve?
Pull my reserve, and these dear friends give me a reserve. I don't know if you guys know, it was 150 square feet, and I usually have 350 from my weight. Yeah. So I open the square, I see there's little napkins on front of me. How am I supposed to do that? So I'm just turn and I see the ground and I tuck myself, boom. And an ambulance, everybody, I was fine.
Yeah.
But the lesson learned there is when something is happen, try to face the demons right away. So I went back to the hangar, and the colonel says, Alex, you want to rest for the day? No, man, I need to jump on the plane right away. Because if I don't do that, I'm going to never do again.
Shake it out.
Yep.
And that's reality. So you need to face the demon because, like we mentioned before, you can have a demon, let's call it demons, in your PSD problem that you don't think that's gonna create nothing, and years later,
boom.
So in the life, I always say these things in your life, trying to face the demon, the fear, right away if you can. So I jump on the airplane. And then lead it and keep it doing. And the next day,
So what was going through your mind between like, okay, I'm going to face my demon, I'm going to go up, and then before you actually jumped again, what was that like?
I was freaking out.
Yeah.
And I was terrorized. And if people tell you that we don't feel fear, they lie to you. We have fear. We just have the courage to overcome the fear. Man, every time I wanted a plane, a normal airplane, and the things open at 30,000 feet and you see Earth and you have tiny things with a parachute, I mean, it's not natural.
No.
It's not natural.
Yeah.
But you do it. You do it because you want it and because your friends are with you. Anytime I see somebody, I'm never going to jump on an airplane. No, maybe if you go on an airplane, you're never going to jump on yourself. But if you had a bunch of motherfuckers together for years, and one person jump, oh, you damn sure I'm gonna follow you, man. I'm damn sure you're gonna follow with them. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing like base jumping?
No,
or
that's
anything?
bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Why?
I don't know.
The wingsuit, dude. You know, have you seen the
That's
guy?
cool.
Have
you ever done
that?
that?
That is terrifying.
Okay.
That is terrifying. Like,
I've never done any jump for fun.
Yeah.
Only for the military.
So since you've been out, nothing.
No.
Do you like heights?
Yeah, I do like heights. Yes. It just I don't know. I never had the opportunity because I retired and I came here, so I wasn't able to I was unable to go any jump in school here. Even if a bunch of people in the movie business, that's what they do. But I never done it again. I probably should do again.
But it's been a long time then.
Yeah, but I'm never gonna forget.
Yeah.
Again, if you can put me in an airplane in a parachute right now, I can probably jump, land easy. Don't ask me to land in a fucking square because I'm not. I'm gonna need a soccer field to land. But yeah, so I'm never gonna forget these things.
Yeah. 16 years you spent in.
Yeah.
Do you get retirement?
Just